enough space in your house or in your garden to bring in new chicks to add to your existing flock of hens. I'm going to share my experience about having a small home and a small garden, but still being able, this year in 2020, we brought in some chicks and we made it work instead of having to buy pullets or buy adult hens. So our home is about 90 meters squared, and our garden is about 1,300 meters squared. So relatively, that's quite small. We don't have a garage, we don't have a shed with any extra space to keep chicks in separate. So we brought the chicks into our home. We got them at 4 weeks old, and I'll share with you my experience and how maybe you could do that if you're hoping to bring in chicks and have that extra experience of having these little cute little ones around, because it was really fun and well worth it if you could make the adaptations. Hi, come inside my home and let me show you the sitting room where we were able to keep our chicks inside. So you can kind of see just below the window here on the floor, in between the chair and the TV. We had moved all the toys and did move the furniture back a bit. So you can see it would have taken up a lot of space in our only sitting room. So we were willing to do that. It's not everyone's cup of tea. But having the experience of keeping chicks was something we've always really wanted to do, so we made it work. And getting pullets is wonderful, getting adult hens is wonderful, but we just thought, we'll do the extra, hassle just so we could have that special experience of keeping baby birds. So what we did is we laid down a shower curtain on the floor, then I put a big sheet of cardboard on top of that, then the bedding material went over that, and then we had already made a wired hoop that we had used for plants in the past to protect them from our other hens. And so that's what we used for them. So our chicks still had we had a heating plate for them. They had their water and food in there. We have a ladder for the coop that we just laid flat for them. So it was like little mini perches that they could jump over and go under. So my son had lots of fun kind of designing their habitat. He drew lots of pictures about this. He was very excited. So the pros, I would say, about having the hens, the chicks in the house were the chicks got to get socialized to all of our noises and sounds. Like this baby. So they got to hear, baby cry, baby screaming, toys going, just all of our noises. And so it kind of, so I felt like compared now to our other adult hens that we mixed them with later, they seem much more calm and relaxed and friendly and not so startled so easily. It could be because it's a different breed, but I'd like to think it's because they were socialized. And then also on the flip side, my children had all that extra time to be with chicks as they were growing in the house. And so they got used to the chicks' noises and sounds and how the birds moved. And I feel now that my son, who's 5 now, he's more confident than he's ever been with the hens in the garden because he's had all that time to be around them while they were in the house. Now, we kept the chicks in the house from when they were 4 weeks old until they were 10 weeks old. So 6 weeks. And then, so the negatives of having chicks in the house for that long, well, dust. They flap and kick, and then all that little tiny bits of dust from the bedding just kind of settled everywhere. So I was dusting every day, had to protect my electronics and covered them. Also, their kicking would kick bedding and little mini feathers out all over the room, so I was sweeping like all the time. It was a bit of a pain. There were some days I was like, I can't be bothered, which is like really unlike me because I love the house like really tight. That's just like what I do. Well, I hope that helps give you an idea of what it might be like to keep chicks in your house for a while. And I'll talk in another video about what it was like introducing our new mini flock to our older flock once they were 10 weeks old and brought them outside. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos like this or have a question, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you next week. Bye.